Welcome, everyone, to the psychoeducational version of this week's session of the BIPOC Women's Neurodiversity Group. My name is Anteria Nelson. I am an MSW intern at Awaken Wellness Center. I am also the founder and facilitator of this group, and today we are diving into a topic that is fundamental to everything we do here: understanding neurodiversity. Too often, the conversations about neurodivergence leave out the voices of Black, Indigenous, and other women of color. Our experiences, our challenges, and our strengths are unique, and it's time we center them. Today, we're not just talking about definitions, we're talking about our lived realities, our truths, and how we navigate the world as neurodivergent BIPOC women. This session is more than just learning. It's about seeing ourselves and each other with clarity, compassion, and pride. Neurodiversity is not just a label, it's a movement, a way of reclaiming our power and rewriting the narratives that have been placed on us. So, what exactly is neurodiversity? So, at its core, neurodiversity is the recognition that there is no single right way for a brain to function. Just as people have diverse cultural backgrounds, languages, and physical traits, our brains also have natural differences in how they process information, communicate, and experience the world. Neurodiversity includes a broad range of cognitive variation, such as autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyscalculia, Tourette syndrome, and much more. Historically, these have been labeled as disorders, but the neurodiversity movement challenges this view. Instead of seeing neurodivergence as something to be fixed, it acknowledges that these differences come with both challenges and strengths, and that every brain has value. Now, what is the difference between neurodiversity and neurodivergent? Neurodiversity is the broad concept that all brains are different, including both neurotypical and neurodivergent individuals. Neurodivergence, on the other hand, refers specifically to people whose brains function in ways that fall outside of societal norms. This includes people with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and other neurodivergent conditions. Simply put, neurodiversity is the umbrella that includes all types of brains. Neurodivergence refers to people whose cognitive functions differ from what is considered typical. Both are important concepts because they help us shift away from seeing neurodivergence as a problem and instead recognize it as a natural and valuable way of thinking and being. Now that we've discussed neurodiversity and neurodivergence, let's talk about what it means to be neurotypical. The term neurotypical describes individuals whose brains functions through thought processes and behaviors that align with societal norms and expectations. This doesn't mean that they never struggle. It simply means that the world is generally designed to accommodate their way of thinking, learning, and interacting. Because society is built around neurotypical experiences, neurodivergent people often face challenges navigating school, work, relationships, and daily life. Many of the systems in place, whether it's education, employment, or social expectations, assume that everyone processes the world in the same way, which isn't the case. This is why conversations around neurodiversity matter, because they challenge the assumption that neurotypical is right and neurodivergent is wrong. Instead, we recognize that different ways of thinking and processing the world all have value. So, this psychoeducational video is about understanding neurodiversity. Neurodiversity is not just about learning definitions, it's about recognizing our experiences, challenging societal narratives, and embracing the strengths that come with being neurodivergent. Next week, we'll be exploring race, culture, and identity. We'll discuss how our cultural backgrounds, societal expectations, and systemic barriers shape our experience as BIPOC neurodivergent individuals. This is an important conversation because neurodivergence is often studied and discussed from a predominantly white perspective, and our unique challenges and strengths as people of color deserve space and recognition. If you'd like to continue exploring neurodiversity, I highly recommend checking out the Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network, AWN, at awnnetwork.org. They provide great resources and advocacy specifically for marginalized neurodivergent individuals. I do also want to mention at I Am Paying Attention, who provides great resources for neurodivergent individuals. While the creators themselves are not people of color, they do acknowledge and discuss the experience of BIPOC women and the BIPOC neurodivergent community in meaningful ways. One resource I personally recommend is their book, How Not to Fit In, which I have read myself personally, and it has been incredibly helpful in my own neurodivergent journey. And I believe many of you may find it valuable as well. So if you ever have any questions, reflections, or you just want to connect, you can reach me at Zanteria at awakenwellnesscenter.com or znelson1 at goals.salisbury.edu. I hope to see you at our next session of the BIPOC Women's Neurodiversity Group on November the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.